All right, good afternoon, Captain Lawrence. My name is Joanna, reporter from LVCNN. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely. So my name is Jimmy Lorson. It's actually Karl, but I go by Jimmy to all my friends. And I am the captain of the Spring Valley Area Command. I've been in this area command for a little over a year now. I came back to it as a shift lieutenant in 2022. And then I moved on to a few other things and then was able to come back as the admin lieutenant for about 3 months before I promoted to captain. And luckily, the sheriff left me in place so I could stay here and see through some of the initiatives that we were trying to put in place.
So I have a few questions for you today. So question number one is, what type of crimes are most prevalent in the areas, particularly in Chinatown?
Sure. So the most prevalent crime that we have within the Chinatown corridor is property crimes. A lot of times people are going down there and trying to enjoy the food, enjoy the nightlife that's down there, and they're getting vehicles broken into because a lot of times people are leaving property inside the vehicle. And these bad guys, these bad actors know that they can come in there and people are inside enjoying their time. So what happens is they come, they see some bags stacked up or maybe a purse sitting on a seat, and they break into the car, steal the bags, and that's it. And we've gone at lengths to message this out to the community. Matter of fact, today is our first Tuesday here in the Spring Valley Area Command, and I always start with that message because it's something that we need to continuously push out. There are a lot of signage that's now down within the community in the Chinatown corridor. We know that there's a lot of different cultures, a lot of different languages, so trying to seek out people who are willing to put up signs. So this way individuals understand to not leave property in their car, or at least be cognizant of it, take the property with them, lock it up in lockers if they have lockers down there. Anything to try to minimize any type of victimization that these bad actors will do to them.
Okay, so any specific plans or initiatives to reduce crime rates, and any preventive measure would you recommend regarding restaurant threats in Chinatown and vehicle breaking targeting tourists?
Yeah, so that's a two-part question. One is for restaurants and then also for the vehicle break-ins. So as I said earlier with the vehicle break-ins, we have a team that's dedicated specifically to Spring Mountain called the SMART team. And one of the things, we wanted faster service down there. So this way, whenever there is a car break-in, they know exactly who to call. And they've done a great amount of outreach with a lot of the businesses down there. If you go down into the area, it is extremely rare if a business owner or manager does not know who the SMART team members are. And so we went at great lengths to make sure that outreach has happened and then continues. So also to answer your question about the vehicle break-ins and the signage is making people aware, and seeing if the restaurants will even go a step further by having their servers, managers, whoever it is, talk to their customers and say, listen, if you have property in the car, please go get it, please secure it better. Anything that's going to help lower, again, the victimization, to make sure that these bad actors know that they can't just come to Chinatown and see a full car of property and make it an easy target. So we try to tell people, don't make yourself an easy target. That's one thing. Now, also within that area, something that we noticed, because although as an area command overall, we're down in violent crime, and we're also down in property crime. Down, the last numbers just came in today, 11.4% down in property crime. That's significant, but we want to be better. We don't want to just rest on that. So we're for the Chinatown specific corridor, because of the vehicle break-ins, we've now set another team of about 4 to 6 officers that nightly will be conducting a lot of proactivity. A lot of times when people see activity of police out on the road, they're less likely to go within those businesses and commit crimes. So that's another thing, is just make the visibility of our officers so much more that people believe and should see that their officers are down there and that you will get caught if you commit a crime within there. So that's one of the messages that we're pushing out, is a lot more proactivity. And you should see officers down there creating person stops, vehicle stops, especially with the traffic that we have within the Spring Mountain corridor. And we have the new crosswalks, and we want everybody to be safe, so there's also a safety component with it. But you had a second part to that question is the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we found unique when a couple years ago there was a major series that was going through the area, we called it the Master Kim's restaurant theft series. One of the things that we found that was extremely interesting too was a lot of the safes contained an extreme amount of money. What we would always message out, and this is from my time as a detective when I was in robbery, we would always message out to businesses, do your drops, do your money drops, take money to the bank. Don't leave money overnight inside of a safe. Okay, if you have to hire a security service, if you, however many people go to the bank, do the drops right at the end of shift, or however you can do that to reduce the easy target of somebody coming into that business and taking the safe. They take the safe, they take your livelihood. And a lot of times we were seeing a lot of money in those safes, and a lot of times if there was not any money or a lot less money, you're not going to have somebody come in and keep trying to commit those crimes along that corridor. So that was one of the big messages, is make sure we're doing our money drops and stop leaving so much money in the safes. Now that's just with some of the messaging to them, but again, the specific plan is a lot of proactivity within that corridor so we can lower the property crime rate.
Okay, so will SVAC accept crime reports outside of a substation jurisdiction area?
Yeah, so we will accept reports from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we say Spring Valley. Now this is, and so please let me know if this isn't going to answer the question the way you've written it. So jurisdictional boundaries for us is all Clark County. So, but we also have North Las Vegas that we have. That's a separate police department. Henderson. We will accept reports even from victims from there. And it's called courtesy reports. So we'll accept reports from everywhere. Now we do have our boundaries, so the Spring Valley Area Command specific, it depends on where that crime is committed, on who exactly will investigate that crime. So in this instance, if it happens within the Spring Valley Area Command, our Spring Valley detectives will investigate that crime unless it falls within the boundary of, say, a bureau, let's say the robbery bureau. This is where somebody uses force or fear with a gun and goes into a business and says, the robbery section is going to come out, and they're ultimately going to investigate that crime. But if it's a crime that falls within the detectives within the area command, and that crime is committed within Spring Valley, it will be those detectives that investigate it. So again, we'll accept anybody can report a crime from anywhere, and we'll accept it from those jurisdiction boundaries and just do a courtesy report if the crime was not a Las Vegas crime.
If a victim has not yet filed a formal report but accidentally encountered the suspect, will the police dispatch officer immediately to assist?
So this is a tricky question. So when you say immediately, I don't want to say yes or no. So I'm not going to be non-committal on this. What I'll tell you is there's a lot that goes involved in it. So I always push out the messaging, and I know that there's sometimes some challenges within the community. And we've gone to great lengths with the Spring Mountain Coalition that we have here, that we meet quarterly. I've said it in there. I'll say it here at First Tuesday. There's sometimes that gap, is what we call it, from community members that, whether it's a distrust or just not wanting to report it, we push out that you have to report your crime. The reason why is because in that instance right there, what was the crime? Does it something that warrants immediate assistance right here, right now? Is it an emergency? Did this person have a gun? Did they have a knife? Did they have a weapon when they committed the crime? Was it somebody who threw a rock and hit a car? There's a lot that goes into the assistance for the immediacy, if that makes sense. We try to get to everything as fast as we possibly can because everybody deserves that level of service. But we also have to take into account, depending upon what crime's going within the area command. It's what makes the reporting so important, and making sure that we know exactly what crime was reported. There's also an event number that when somebody reports crime, so let's say somebody Let's say somebody robbed a person with a gun on the street. They took a purse with a gun. That's very important details to us. But if there's language barriers, if there's certain challenges that we have in place, but we have an event number, because you're going to get an event number when you call us. You can now reference that event number to the call taker and simply say, bad guy from this number is here. And we see that there's a gun involved. We need to get there now. So you will get more of an immediate assistance dependent upon the crime, if that makes sense.
Okay, so some residents of Chinese community may be reluctant to report the crimes for various reasons. What are your thoughts on the issue and advice for somebody who have language barriers?
This is a great question. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. There is language barriers. There's also sometimes a mistrust of the police in various cultures. And the Chinatown corridor, I can tell you, has been challenging. And we try to go at lengths on our department to break some of those barriers. With our sheriff, Kevin McMahill, he puts an emphasis on transparency and trust. Well, we have to build that trust. And those are conversations. Those are inviting people to the first Tuesday. Those are inviting people to the Spring Mountain Coalition meeting. So now there's a face to the policing name, if that makes sense. You have me as, say, the head of Spring Valley here. I want people to know who I am. I want people to see my officers. I want to build that trust to know that the only reason we're there is to help them, A, be safe, or to solve whatever crime they have been a victim of. So having that trust established and built, again, it's one of the pillars of our department, is trust with the community. And to even go a step further, there are various organizations that we're involved in. MMAC is one of them, the Metro Multicultural Advisory Council. So a lot of the community leaders are a part of that organization. They meet once a month with our sheriff, and they have a voice on our department. And within the Asian community, that's one of the things that they try to go at great lengths to also message out that why we need these crimes reported. Metro is your friend. We do want to hear from you. We do want to know when you've been a victim of a crime. Same thing for the first Tuesday. And Antonia, I know we talk consistently, and she helps us translate. Even though there's language barriers, we have a vast translation process in place here, whether it be a language line or we have officers that Mandarin, or even in the Hispanic culture, we have people that speak different languages. So there really isn't a reason to not report your crime. It's a lot of times the trust. That is my biggest factor, is to try to break through some of those barriers as it relates to trust. And that's why I will go to whatever lengths. I've always made it open that we'll come to you. We'll come to talk. We'll speak in front of groups. Put me in front of 100,000 people or 10 people. I don't care. Because that's how it starts, is with a conversation. So we have to establish and build that trust. And as long as I'm here, and I'll be even more frank with you, whenever the sheriff decides to move me on somewhere else, I'm still going to be a part of this community. I'm still going to help message out. And I'm still going to come to some of these meetings because it's something that becomes a part of you. And building that trust has been my goal from literally day one, and trying to establish that. So we do have people that are comfortable with their police department. Because it's important. It's important for all different aspects.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time and taking this opportunity to share this with us. Thank you.